Hey guys! ZBrush is amazingly powerful, but it can be a real pig to learn. So when I was recently asked to take part in and review the launch of a new ZBrush jewellery course, I grabbed it with both hands. Now, I'm self-taught with both Blender and Fusion 360, but I'm not ashamed to admit that figuring out ZBrush's notoriously awkward user interface has previously beaten me. As luck would have it, several weeks ago I was contacted by Henry, the clever fellow that put together all of the technical parts of what you're about to see. He asked me to be a beta test student and, through so doing, offer objective third-party feedback before eventually going on to independently review this course. So let's hear from one of the main tutors.
Hello, and welcome to ZBrush Jewelry Workshop. I'm Tomas Wittelsbach, and this is the beginning of something that's been bouncing around in my head for years.
This is Tomas, one of the instructors. He can casually bat away compliments with quiet modesty, but don't be fooled. Not only does he have the amazing skill to delay the sounds coming from his lips, he's also an incredibly talented designer, and is, beyond a doubt, a household name amongst the jewellery design fraternity. He's genuinely a big deal. Oh, and he can also make his earrings appear and disappear at will. It's incredible.
You may have seen my work in over 20 major motion pictures, from well over a decade of working in the film industry. I transitioned into jewelry design about 16 years ago when I discovered ZBrush. I've designed lines of jewelry for many companies like William Henry, Green Lake Jewelry, and a few others that have NDAs, as well as been doing my own work for all that time. My goal isn't just to bring you videos, but to create a completely supportive community where you can come not just to learn, but to gather all the information you need to grow.
Did you get that? What you're being sold here, and yes, there's obviously a cost, is not only a beginners to advanced ZBrush video course, but also an online community of experts and amateurs alike. Like-minded people who want to be there. People sharing ideas, giving support, learning and teaching.
Our objective here is simple. We want you to learn everything that we can teach you about digital sculpting, jewelry design, production, and manufacturing. We want to create a community where you can learn from us as well as each other, and we want to create a community where we can introduce you to all of the professional connections that we've made over the years, and them to you. Not just ZBrushers, but molders, casters, stone setters, and anyone else we can con to come in and make a video.
Tomas is already in talks with dozens of professionals and companies to be guest tutors. So as well as a place to make the sort of contacts you might normally dream of, it's likely you're going to see exclusive offers found nowhere else.
As ZBrush Jewelry Workshops continues to grow, you'll see videos being added to both projects and reference modules. Please check back frequently to see what's new, because there will be things added constantly and soon. It really comes down to learn, participate, and grow. Now let's get started.
Before we take his advice there, I think it's only fair to point out that there are two other main tutors involved, Eric Keller and Tony Rodriguez. Again, like Tomas, these guys are a big deal. I could fill a video about each of them, but that's not what I'm here to do, so do your own research if you need to. But all three of these guys are heavy hitters, so the credentials behind this course are excellent. To get started, you're going to need ZBrush. If you don't have it yet, it's not exactly cheap. If you take this course, Tomas has so much influence in the ZBrush design arena, ZBrush themselves have agreed that his students will be entitled to what I hear will be 50% off, which, I believe, is fairly unheard of amongst online courses. But remember guys, the student license is strictly for non-commercial use, so once you're making money selling your wares, you'd be expected to upgrade. So, equipped with your ZBrush, this is roughly what you'd expect to see once you've signed up. And I say expect to see because this is an ever-growing environment, and has expanded a number of times in the short while I've been using it. For example, Start Here wasn't here when I first strolled in, though I would have found it pretty useful. These are a series of videos by Eric taking you step by step through installation, and this isn't so much the installation of ZBrush itself, but the various add-ons you'll need along with the custom user interface. Now this interface deserves brief mention. ZBrush itself is so vast and so far-reaching that the menus, frankly, require a menu. For this reason, Thomas has designed an interface for his students which includes everything that you'll need within easy touch, saving you the hassle of tracking things down. But for purists out there, reverting to and from the standard ZBrush interface is very simple. Mastering the fundamentals can seem a little boring, but it's pointless trying to skip ahead. I know what it's like, you want the exciting stuff, but ZBrush is too complex and involved. If you don't know the basics, you'll fail almost immediately. I certainly did. So this is very back to school basics. Eric makes things very clear and easy to follow. He's very thorough in his explanations, and everything feels simple.
By default, I just have the standard brush activated, and if I drag on the surface, you can see it leaves a nice smooth line. So we're pushing the surface out as we draw with this standard brush. Now if I hold the Alt key while I stroke on the surface, you can see we're pushing in. So without Alt key, it's pushing out. With Alt key, it's pushing in. If you take a look up here,
you're building foundations, so don't skip ahead. Watch each one and, importantly, practice each lesson. It's only by doing that we really learn, and there's so much to learn here. Once you've completed the fundamentals, it's time to move on to the ZBrush Jewelry Workshop, and for me, this is where the fun really began. When I first saw this section, a lot of these videos weren't here, so the flow was different. But as I said, this is an ever-growing arena, and if these guys spot a gap, they head back and plug it up. You quickly begin to get the impression that there's real passion and enthusiasm here. Follow these videos through in order as Thomas introduces brushes and techniques, and then gives you work to do in the form of projects. Many of the videos, including the fundamentals, come with downloads, so you can replicate what you've seen and deepen your learning. With the projects, you finally get the opportunity to get stuck into making something. You'll see and hear Thomas at work, and again, you can replicate what you see with the included downloads.
I want this outside line to be sharp, right? I don't want this to be a half round when I divide it. I want this to be soft. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to go over line, and I'm going to go to crease, and we are going to do edge loop complete. I'm going to crease this line, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to crease this line because I want that to seem like a little sharp edge. So instead of dividing and loading surfaces, we're going to use crease to do it for us. And now you can see when I divide this, this is a sharp line. See how that's become soft, but that's a sharp line. So you can dictate where those edges stay sharp without loading.
If you saw my recent skull ring video, then believe me, this genuinely was my first ever ZBrush project. I have the tiniest bit of Blender experience and a little bit of Fusion 360 experience. But other than the knowledge I'd accumulated watching these videos, I had no other ZBrush experience. But these very classes gave me the knowledge and confidence to have a go, and I managed this. I was rather proud, but believe me, I had to revisit most of these videos several times during the process. But that did prove something to me. These videos create an excellent reference library. For this video you're watching now, I planned another ring design type video, but I felt this might be a little too boring for you guys. But whilst planning that, I got stuck a couple of times with my design and I headed over to the community. As Thomas told us at the beginning, the community aspect of this workshop is in many ways what it's really about. There's a strong consensus amongst all involved that they will build a unique and robust community of students and experts alike. Not just ZBrushers, but metal polishers, casters, stone setters and many more. This, of course, takes time, but if you're asking me if they'll manage it, I'd bet my mortgage on it. The two main sides of the community area are the forum and the interactive Discord pages, where you can chat, learn, teach and generally enjoy. When I had a couple of technical problems, I headed here, and I was surprised how quickly I got answers. It's this sort of support that newbies like me really need. I won't show you the content of Discord in any great detail in order to respect the privacy of the users, but trust me here, I've visited there at all hours of the day and I've never found it empty. If you're looking for a ZBrush or jewellery buddy to bounce ideas off or get advice from, right now this is possible. As time goes on, it will be an absolute certainty. The resources and downloads section offers considerable value. Here you'll find assets and files that you can actually use as part of your learning and as part of your personal design growth. I'm aware that Thomas actually sells some of these outside of this workshop, so getting them here for free is quite a perk. Rendering and imaging is another new section for me, as it's only just appeared. ZBrush is used in a variety of media, including movie making and gaming, so talented artists create their work in ZBrush and use its comprehensive rendering features to add colour, shadows, contrast, depth, etc. to bring to life their creations. And again, Eric takes us through this process with expert guidance. In fact, when I found one of Eric's renderings of a Klingon woman, I began to share with him several of my own Klingon fantasies, though strangely my emails on that subject seem to have become blocked. Another amazing feature of this workshop is Critique by Thomas. Now, this is a completely free service to workshop members, wherein, if you're brave enough, you can show your work to Thomas and, in a live one-to-one internet exchange, invite his expert evaluation with a view to improvement. You can be sure I put forward one of my ring designs for critique, and once he'd stopped laughing, it was an incredibly eye-opening experience.
So now the other thing, just aesthetically speaking, on these eyelets or these cutouts, is I tend to at least try to do one level of bevel or inset, just so it doesn't look like a punch through, because this is a very common thing you can do with CAD, punch things through, you know. And so what I tend to find is that if, once again, you have one edge that is sort of a bevel, and then if it is a scoop or an angle, here. See how from each angle you're getting that little graphic line right there? That reads much more interesting than just this flat punch out.
It was very enlightening, and it genuinely changed the way I looked at jewellery designing. This personal consultation service alone must be of incredible value, but it's all part of this package. By now you're screaming, "How much, you idiot? Tell us how much." Well, like all good things, it's not cheap. This is a major chunk of change for most folks, and I'm not here to persuade anyone to part with their money. But I can say a couple of things to make swallowing this bitter pill a little easier. Firstly, this is a lifetime membership fee. The videos will expand, the community will grow, the panel of experts and valuable contacts will enlarge, but you'll never pay another penny. You're in this for life. Secondly, it wouldn't be me if I didn't try to wangle a discount for my viewers. And after threatening Eric with more of my Klingon warrior fantasies, they quickly caved in and knocked $100 off for you guys. For details of this great saving, head to the description below this video. If all of this talk of money is a bit too much for you, don't lose hope. These guys aren't just in it for the money, they genuinely seem to care. Tomas has already outlined to me how they plan on introducing a number of free classes to help get people started. These classes will run in tandem with ZBrush's own free download, which, whilst obviously not as comprehensive as the paid version, is still credit-worthy. So, this is a review, and that means it's time for me to put my objective hat on and sum up the ZBrush Jewelry Workshop platform. And you'll notice that I called it a platform there, and not a course. Tomas is already a tutor, so giving classes and online courses is normal for him. But what he, Eric and Tony have presented to us here is far more than just a limited set of videos. Most ZBrush courses are just that, X number of dollars for X number of videos, limited videos and limited topics. However, this is not what this arena is about. This arena focuses on learning. So with that said, will this course, this string of videos, this community teach you today everything you need to know to use ZBrush professionally? No. No way. ZBrush is too big for that. But it isn't fair to say no. It's better to say not yet. This is new. It's a platform. It's an arena that contains video classes, fellow students, expert tutors, and all manner of other professionals. Right now, it's an acorn with ambitions to be the biggest tree in the forest, and I have a feeling we'll see that surprisingly soon. Tomas has told me how they originally drew up plans for 200 videos. The problem was, that list kept expanding. Each video seemed to highlight another area that needed exploring. Students are invited to request tutorials. ZBrush will continue to expand and improve, and that will need explaining. More and more videos will come. This is an ever-growing entity, and I have a feeling that it will be a better online learning platform for ZBrush than any currently available. All those guys charging high prices for their 10 and 20 video courses will be slashing their prices, because what we have here is something that's hard to beat. One fee for an ever-expanding resource. And if jewelry isn't your thing, don't walk away. Tomas tells me it's not only about jewelry. He's already planning videos on sculpted human figures, faces, etc. And Eric is famed for his insect work, so I'd be astounded if that doesn't come up. In short, more and more topics will appear. So what we have here is a platform that provides instructional videos on the use of ZBrush, starting at the very basics and eventually going all the way to advanced. The potential is massive. Will it happen? Will it be all of this and more? Well, I'm no fortune teller, but I can judge on what I've seen so far. And what I've seen is zealousness. I've witnessed interaction. I've seen questions answered and problems solved. I've been thanked for sharing ideas, and I genuinely feel this platform is here to stay. So is it worth the money? Should you part with your hard-earned cash? Yes. I hate spending other people's money, but if you're serious about learning ZBrush, whether it's for jewelry design or not, personally I can say this platform gave me the confidence to push through my previous failures and use ZBrush to make something that I'm really quite proud of. Not only that, but it's left me wanting to make more. And wouldn't you know it, a couple of weeks after I did this, Tomas added tutorials showing folks how to make skull rings and more. Typical. That would have made my life so much easier, and I can see how I went wrong in a few places. But for you, it's now so much easier to learn how to make a skull ring. So let me say that again, as this is a lot of money, guys. If you're serious about CAD, if you're serious about ZBrush, this platform is worth joining. And that pretty much exhausts my little brain on this topic for now. As always, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them below and I'll do my best to answer them. So that's it for now, guys. Take care and thanks for watching.